All right, I'm gonna start. Let me make sure I position this so you guys can see me. I'm gonna sit back. So grab your pillow and put it on your mat. And we're gonna start seated. So come to a comfortable cross-legged position. And then find any comfortable position with your palms up, palms down, or you can find Buddhist mudra for empty mind, which is left palm up and right palm on top of left palm and thumbs barely touching. And then let's just kind of grab our shoulders. Let's get rid of the tension in the nape of our neck and our shoulders first, and then bring the shoulders up, back, and down. And you can do this in any position with your palms, up, back, and down. One more time, up, back, and down. And then just close your eyes for a moment. Let's get into our breath. So let's take a moment to arrive. So big inhale through the nose, and then cleansing breath out your mouth. And one more time. Deep inhale through the nose and cleansing breath through the mouth. And then just take a couple normal breaths. Just watch your breath come in and see your breath go out. Feel free to close your eyes, or you can have a soft gaze, or whatever makes you feel comfortable in the moment. Right? It's no big deal. Last cycle of breath here. And then open your eyes, gently blink your eyes open and clasp your hands together and turn your palms inward, or your backs of your hands inward, and have your elbows be nice and wide. Barry, you might want to, take it easy on the shoulder stuff. I'm sure you know that. So feel free to modify anything and everything that doesn't work in your body, and you guys know that already. And take a breath in, and on an exhale, extend the arms and straighten the elbows. A couple more times like that, using the rhythm of the breath. Inhale, and then exhale. And then kind of round cat and cow now, so we're gonna add on a little bit. Inhale, we're gonna arch a little bit, and exhale, we're gonna round. And inhale, you're gonna arch a little bit, and on your exhale, you're gonna round. Last time, inhale, exhale. And then bring the palms to the crown of the head. And if this doesn't work for you, this creates too much of a back bend and it hurts your lower back, then bring your palms to your forehead, right? So you have options here, whichever one feels better in your body. I'm gonna bring my hands actually to my forehead. You're gonna take a breath in, and then extend the palms on the breath out. And then a breath in, and a breath out. Two more times like this, inhaling and exhaling. Last time like this, inhale and exhale. And then release the arms nice and wide. And come onto hands and knees. So discard your prop, place it off to the side for a moment. And come into hands and knees. So separate your palms shoulder distance. There we go. So your palms shoulder distance and your knees hip distance, right? And a little cat and cow. So you're gonna inhale, arch up, look up, and on an exhale, you're gonna curl. Inhaling, arch up, look up. Exhale to curl. Couple more times like that, breathing in and arching up and breathing out and curling and gazing at your navel. Two more times, inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale to curl. Last one, inhale. Exhale. And then coming to neutral spine, you're going to extend your left arm out in front of you with the thumb pointing up towards the ceiling. You take a moment to stabilize and ground yourself, and then extend the right leg out. And then press that right foot into an imaginary wall, so flex the heel and push, and extend to the left fingers and gaze slightly forward, and then let that go. And then switch sides. Right palm's gonna extend, left leg's gonna flex and push and reach, and gaze slightly forward, and then let that go. And then just begin to kind of swivel your hips from side to side, and then swivel your head and neck, maybe in one direction, and maybe the other direction. And then begin to make organic movements with your hips in one direction, so circling down and around and up and down and around. Any movement that calls out to you is the right way to go. No such thing as right or wrong here. And then come back to center. And then start making organic circular movements in the opposite direction. I'm going to take my outer layer of clothing off. And feel free to close your eyes, because there's nothing you really need to see here. It's an inside job. All this is an inside job. Deep belly breaths. Filling the hips, moving in an organic direction.
Hannah, you need to mute people. Hannah, you need to mute people. You've muted yourself.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Honey,
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, you need to mute participants, but don't mute yourself.
How do I mute others?
Go under participants.
Participants?
Yeah.
And then, oh, got it. Thank you. You guys are wonderful. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, all right. So back to hands and knees. You're going to tuck your toes. So we're going to do a little bit of a movement-based practice this morning. Feel free to modify anything and everything. So Barry, for you, for your shoulder, right, you're going to probably want to stay on your knees. You already know that. I know that about you. You take really good self-care. Anyone else who needs to do that, feel free to do that as well. And so we're going to lift our knees and lift our hips and find our way into downward facing dog. First dog of the class, go easy. Let your head and neck be heavy. And begin to pedal out your feet. Bend the right knee, sink the left heel, and then switch. And then just keep pedaling out the feet to warm up the bones in your feet. Nice and easy. No right or wrong. It's all about just feeling good. And downward dog is not heels towards the mat. It's long spine, right? And for most of us, it's bent knees. And on an inhale, you're going to reach the right leg up and back, and you're going to bend the knee. So you could do this on the ground, right? Or you can do it standing. And so you're going to bend the right knee and circle the right ankle one way, and then circle it the other way, and circle the right hip joint and knee one way, and then circle it the other way. And then straighten the right leg and reach and push, reach and push, reach and push. And then lower the leg, drop down to your knees, and find child's pose. And then coming up from child's pose and finding downward facing dog again and exploring the other side. So the left leg's gonna reach up and back, nice and easy does it. And you're gonna open the knee and then you're gonna circle the ankle one way and circle it the other way. And then circle the knee and the hip joint one direction. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just kind of exploring the range of motion and then circle it the other way. And then straighten the leg as you reach and push, reach and push, reach and push. And lower the leg, drop down to the knees, finding child's pose. And then coming up nice and slowly and finding your way back to your dog as you pedal out your feet, bending one knee, sinking the heel, bending the other knee, sinking the opposite heel. And then coming into down dog and walking your hands midway, so halfway to your feet, so that your hips stack up and line up over your heels. So you kind of find that position. And then rock your hips from side to side. Getting a nice side body stretch. And then taking the left hand and placing it in the center of your mat. And the right hand's gonna reach around for the shin, the calf, the thigh, or the ankle. And you're gonna gaze underneath your left armpit, feeling a nice side body stretch. Deep belly breaths. And then come back to center and switch hands. So the right palm's gonna come to the center and the left palm's gonna reach to the outside of the right shin or calf or thigh. And you're gonna gaze underneath your right armpit. One more deep belly breath here. Come back to center. Drop down to your knees. Child's pose. And then crawl yourself back up. Coming back into your downward facing dog. And step your right foot between your hands. Step your left foot. And bring your hands onto your shins. Put a nice micro bend in your knees so you don't hyperextend to the backs of the kneecaps. And on an inhale, you're gonna arch up, look up, long spine. On an exhale, you're gonna forward fold. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, hands on shins, long spine, arch up. Exhale, let it go. 1 more time just like that. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Roll up the spine 1 vertebra at a time. So stack your bones, place your weight towards your heels. Let your head and neck be the last thing to arrive. And I always like to have a theme for the class, right? And today's class theme is going to be grounding, right? Since I sense a lot of collective anxiety and uncertainty about when we're gonna be able to be let out of our cages, right? So we're gonna take this time in class today to work on grounding and getting into the present moment so that we forget about the past and we forget about the future and we allow ourselves to be just right here, right now. Right? And when we allow ourselves to do that, all the anxiety disappears. So you're gonna find yourself, we're gonna do a couple sun salutations, so a little movement, right? And so you're gonna bring your feet maybe hip distance. I'm gonna adjust this just so you can see a little my feet, the leg work, right? So you're gonna bring your feet hip distance. You're gonna bring your hands to your heart. Right? And we're gonna start, since we have no one around us, right? We're in our own private universe. It doesn't matter what noises you make, how loud or soft you are, but we're gonna start with a collective Om, just like our bodies were a pitchfork, and we're gonna get it tuned into the current moment in the here and now. So you're gonna inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. 3 rounds of Om. Inhale through the nose. And again, inhale through the nose. Here we go. Last time. And allowing that vibration of the tuning of the inner pitchfork to bring your mind to your breath, to the moment to here on your mat right now. So we're gonna do some sun salutations. Feel free to modify or skip, it's all good. On an inhale, arms are gonna reach, your palms are gonna come together at the top. You're gonna touch the back of your heart as we acknowledge that we're gonna let go of the past. You're gonna touch the front of the heart, and we're gonna acknowledge that we're gonna let go of the future because we have no control over that. And then on an exhale, you're gonna come down and be in the present moment. On an inhale, you're gonna arch up, look up. And on an exhale, you're gonna step back and come to the top of the push-up position. And from here, you're gonna lower all the way down to the ground. On your belly, on the ground. On your belly on the ground, you're gonna draw your shoulders down and around and pin them in. And down and around and pin them in. One more time like that. Down and around and pin them in. And keeping them in, pinned in, and the elbows in towards your rib cage, we're gonna climb the cobra ladder. So on an inhale, you're gonna come up just an inch. And on an exhale, you're gonna let it go. Inhale just an inch. Exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. 2 more times like that. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower. Last one like that. Inhale. Exhale. Now coming up a little higher, climbing the cobra ladder. Inhale, a little higher. Exhale. Inhale, a little higher. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, maybe halfway up. Exhale. And now going to wherever felt comfortable, maybe upward facing, maybe just partially off the ground. Exhale. Tuck your toes, and now you have 2 ways to go here. You can either bend your knees, come into a modified child and then downward facing dog, or you push all the way up to push up and find your way to downward dog. Pedal out your feet. Then one knee, bend the other knee, bend, bend. Gazing at your fingers, step or jump your feet to meet your hands and arch. Exhale to bow. On an inhale, you're going to bend your knees and roll up the spine and come all the way up to standing. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, pull it right into the heart center. And take a moment here to set an intention for your class. What do you need today? For me, it's about grounding. Right? It's about reminding myself to be in the present moment, right here, right now. Because in this present moment, there is no fear or anxiety. There just is breath and awareness. And here we go. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Hands come to the top. Palms come together. We touch the back of the heart, letting go of the past and what we think it used to be. We touch the front of our heart and we let go of the future and our expectations of what we want. And then we come down to the present moment. Inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale, step the feet back, top of the push-up position. And here you either drop down your knees and then come all the way down to the floor, or you come to chaturanga. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths in downward dog, gazing somewhere toward your feet. Bend the knees, and lift the tailbone. So as I bend my knees, I can then lift my tailbone and find a little more length in my spine. Gazing toward your fingers, step or jump your feet to meet your hands and arch. Exhale, bow. On an inhale, bend the knees, roll up the spine, arms reach, gazing at your fingers. Exhale, pull it right into the heart center. And just close your eyes for a moment and observe the difference in a couple sun salutations. Just notice now. Maybe you're a little more centered. Focusing on your breath. See the breath come in, watching the breath go out. Last time with this intentional letting go of the past and the present and getting in tune with the here and the now. Inhale, arms reach, palms come together. Touch the back of the heart and really acknowledge letting go of the past. Right? We touch the front of the heart and we let go of our anxiety about the future. And then we come right down to the present moment. And on an inhale, you arch up, look up. And on an exhale, you step back to plank position and hold plank position for a moment, or you modify plank on your knees. Right? You can modify plank on your knees, or you come into plank position. And we hold plank for a moment, and then exhale, lowering down. On an inhale, arch up, look up. On an exhale, downward facing dog. One more breath in downward dog, letting the head and neck be heavy. and then gazing towards your fingers, stepping or jumping your feet to meet your hands as you arch up and look up. Exhaling, forward folding. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing, arms reach, look up. Exhale, pulling it right into the heart center, and close your eyes. Take a couple breaths here, just noticing perhaps as you come to the present moment and you draw your awareness to your breath, the mind starts to quiet. Two more sun salutations, just regular Surya Namaskar. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, forward fold, down you go. Inhale, long spine, arching up. Exhale, step back, top of the push-up. Stay here, take a breath in, and ride your breath down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog, finding your drishti, your gaze, somewhere between your toes. At the end of the exhalation, step or jump your feet to meet your hands and arch. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rising up to standing, arms reach. Exhale, pull it into the heart center. Close your eyes, take a moment here, few breaths. On an inhale, you're going to release your arms. You're going to squat down and your arms are going to come just kind of parallel to the floor, right? And then you're going to scoot your hips back and then scoot your hips under and reach your arms where the wall and ceiling meet. So not up here where you're creating a back bend, but just kind of where the wall and ceiling meet, right? Take a breath in. On your exhale, you're going to cactus the arms. Pull the heart through the chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus. One more time like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus. And then let it go, forward fold. And just walking your hands up your shins and up your thighs, rounding your spine, coming to standing. Let's do a couple standing poses, right? So we're gonna find warrior 1. So your right foot is gonna come forward and your left foot back. So right foot forward, left foot back at an angle, right? And you're gonna come off your tightrope. So you're not gonna be heel to heel. You're gonna walk your right foot slightly to the right, right? And then you're gonna take your left hand onto your hip and you're gonna encourage the hip forward. You're gonna slide it forward. So both hips are pointing in the same direction now, towards the center. And then you're gonna bend the right knee, reaching and pressing into the back heel. So your whole body isn't forward, your torso's upright. And then you're gonna add the arms. And inhale, a couple breaths here. Finding a focal point somewhere at eye level. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath. And then you're gonna bring your left hand. So here's where props can help, right? If you wanna build the floor up, you can have your pillow, your block, your book, whatever you're using. Even a chair works. You're gonna place your left hand onto the block. You're going to come onto the balls of the back toes and then reach the right arm up. Oh, getting a nice stretch. And let's circle the right arm one way. And then circle the arm the other way. Open up the shoulder. And then let that go and drop the back knee down. And then rise up and clasp a hold of the thumbs together, the big thumbs together, and spread your fingers nice and wide. And on an inhale, you're gonna reach up, look up. And on an exhale, you're gonna pull the thumbs apart and then pull the heart through the gates of your arms. Find a little back bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. One more time like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. And then release the arms and straighten the front leg. Right? And here's where, once again, props come in handy. So you can focus on the hamstring stretch and not necessarily the spine. Right? Deep belly breaths here, just lengthening through the right leg. One more breath here. And then rebending the right knee, placing whatever props you used off to the side, planting your palms, tucking the back toe under, stepping the right foot back to meet the left, finding your way to downward dog as you pedal out the feet. And when you're ready, you're gonna extend the left leg up and back, nice and easy, and then step it forward, finding warrior one. So back foot at an angle, rising, right hand on the right hip. So right hand on the right hip, left foot walks to the left a little bit. You're gonna steer that right hip forward. So you can really see in the screen how I kind of steer that whole hip and torso forward. And then rebend the left knee and lean back as you press into the back leg. And let's have the arms clasp the thumbs the opposite direction, right? And on an inhale, you're gonna reach and extend. And on an exhale, you're gonna bend. Let's take a couple breaths, just kind of opening up the back of the heart and the upper rib cage, torso. And then adding movement. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, arms bend. Couple times like that. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, arms bend. One more time with movement. Inhale. Exhale, and then release the arms. If you found your prop helpful, you're going to place it underneath the right palm. Come onto the balls of the left toes, and here's where we kind of open up the chest and find the twist. Oh, that's sun. And let's circle that left arm one way. Nice and easy does it. Like opening up the movement in the upper shoulder region, and then circle it the other way. And then lower the right knee and lift the torso to come up. And then again, we clasp the thumbs just the way we did in the standing version. And then on an exhale, we bend. And on an inhale, we reach. Exhale to bend. Inhale to extend. 2 more times with the breath. 1 more time with the breath. And then release the arms and straighten the front leg. And grab your prop if you found it helpful for stability. Right? And micro bend in that left knee so you don't hyperextend through the back of the left kneecap. And then this is a hamstring stretch. So let the head and neck go. 3 deep belly breaths here. And then coming up, releasing your prop, rebending the left knee. And this time just bring the left knee down to meet the right knee. And get a wide position, so have your knees be the width of your mat, so nice and wide. And then let's find child's pose. So walk the palms forward, let the head and neck go. Let the elbows be soft. So this is not an active version of child. The elbows are soft and maybe they come to the ground and your head releases. And you breathe into the lower belly and the lower part of your back. And then walk yourself up and find downward dog. And walk your hands back to meet your feet. And then walk your hands up your shins and up your thighs and come to standing. And grab your towel or your robe or your strap or whatever prop you have. That's helpful. You can do this with anything. You don't really need anything fancy. And then we're gonna start by finding a wide position. So you'll notice that my palms are wider than my shoulders, right? And take a moment to be soft in the lower part of your body. So bend the knees and shift the weight forward and back until you find the weight right underneath the plumb line, right? And ground down through your legs and then bring your arms up. So press down through the feet, so you're grounding down through the lower body, but you're lifting and extending through the upper body. And then draw the navel in and the front floating ribs in and lift up through the back ribs. And then from here, so instead of a back bend, you're gonna bring everything to the midline. Right, so I'm really drawing my front floating ribs in, my navel in and up, and I'm engaging the legs by pressing down through the balls of the feet and the toes. And so I'm feeling a lift through my plumb line. And then we're just gonna kind of arch into this, soften the knees so you don't injure the lower back, right? But keep reaching up and lifting. And then come back to center and get a little wider grip here. Like so, when you find that sticky spot, you can bring the strap all the way back. And then you inhale up. I forgot to say this. You might not want to do this. But you probably already know that. Inhale back. Exhale forward. One more time. Inhale back. Exhale forward. And then this time, you're going to inhale back. You're going to shorten the grip of the strap, right? And then you're going to bend the knees, and you're going to come forward and just extend the strap up overhead, getting a nice shoulder stretch. One more breath. And then just release the strap, let it go. And clasp your hands together behind your head. Right? And then gently press your head and neck in for a couple breaths. Letting the back of the neck stretch. And release the hands. And drop down to the knees. And And find a comfortable cross-legged position. And if you have a block, you know how we do this in class, we put the block between our ankles. If you have your pillow, you can bring the pillow between your ankles. Any prop that's helpful for you so that you can open up through your hip flexors. Right? So you can use a pillow, you can use a block, you can use a book, anything you have that's handy. And then place your palms on the tops of your knees, right? And shift your weight forward, and then shift your weight back. And shift your weight forward, and shift your weight back. And then just kind of find the plumb line for a breath or two. And close your eyes. So we're gonna breathe. And so one thing I've noticed about myself, and I think this is the human condition, is that when we find ourselves uncertain about the future, right, the anxiety starts to ramp up, our breath starts to increase, the mind starts to spin. And the way to switch that is to slow down the breath and to be conscious about focusing on your breath. So we're going to do the 5 count inhalation and the 6 count exhalation. So here we go. Breathing in, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it at the top. Breathing out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, empty the lungs at the bottom. Streaming the breath in on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, holding at the top. Exhaling, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, squeezing the breath out at the bottom. 2 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, holding at the top. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, empty at the bottom. Last cycle of breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold at the top. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, not controlling the breath, but keeping the breath soft and the natural rhythm of your breath, just sitting here for a moment, watching the cycle of your breath. So see the breath come in and see the breath go out. And as you breathe, soften something. Soften your jaw, soften the palate of your tongue, soften your shoulders down away from your ears, soften the tops of your thighs and your hip flexors, soften the tops of your feet, soften your belly. And as you breathe, soften something, some part of your body, and let gravity and your breath do all the work. So let the breath move the body. Last cycle of breath. And then blink your eyes open and come to a comfortable cross-legged position. If your knees are wide up, are way up here high when you're in this cross-legged position, you're going to want to sit on a prop. So your pillow, your block, whatever prop you have, roller, right? So now notice that as soon as I elevate my hips, my knees have an opportunity to lower. And then you're gonna clasp your hands together behind your head. And you're gonna take a moment to just kind of find a little bit of a back bend. So widen the elbows to the outer edges of the room and pull the heart through the gates of the arms. And then on an exhale, draw the elbows in towards each other and gaze towards your navel. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, expand the heart, the lungs, the chest. Exhale, contract. And this time, you're going to inhale and come to a neutral, so not too wide with the elbows, just kind of like a 45-degree angle, and then begin to twist to the right. And notice if the head and neck are cranking more than the rib cage. So I want you to really focus on twisting through the rib cage and not necessarily the head and the neck. And then release the arms out to the side like a T. Scoot up a little bit, and back of it. Yep. And then release the right arm down and the left arm in front of the top of the right knee, and then just twist. When you inhale, you pause and do nothing. And when you exhale, you empty the lungs and take advantage of the emptiness to twist a little deeper. One more time. Inhale, empty. Exhale, twist a little deeper. That's so nice. Come back to center, and let's bring clasp our hands together again behind our head. And then bring the elbows so they're 45 degrees, like not so there's a back bend, but there's a neutral spine, and the ribs can lower a little bit. And then twist to the opposite side. And once again, observe if you're twisting more with your head and neck than you are with your rib cage. And then release the arms out to side like a T, get a little bit more twist, and then just release the left arm down and the right arm to the outside of the left knee. And take a big breath in and do nothing, pause. And on your exhale, twist a little deeper. Two more times like that, inhale and pause. Exhale as you twist a little deeper. Try not to crank with the head and neck, but letting the movement come from the rib cage, the upper torso. One more time, inhale. Exhale, twist a little deeper. And then come back to center. Inhale, arms reach. And on your exhale, you're just going to forward fold. Let the head and neck go. So for a moment here, you're going to push the palms. You're going to push the palms into the mat so you can find a little bit more length in the lower part of your back. Right, so it's a little active to begin with. And then bend the elbows and let the head and neck go. Beautiful. And then walk yourself back up to seated. Let's do a couple neck rolls. I tend to store a lot of tension in my nape of my neck, right? So you're gonna just roll the head and neck in one direction. And then come back to center and roll the head and neck in the opposite direction. And then come back to center and extend the right arm up and reach a hold of the left ear, right? And then don't pull or force a tug, but just let gravity and your breath draw the right ear down to the right shoulder. And then observe if that right shoulder is hiking up and just kind of lower the shoulder down a little bit. And you can pull your chin in towards your chest for a couple breaths to get a lateral stretch on the outside of the neck. And then come back to center. And let's switch sides. Left hand's gonna come up, left hand's gonna reach around towards the right ear. And once again, don't pull or force or tug, right? Just let the breath and gravity draw the left ear down towards the left shoulder. And notice if the left shoulder is kind of hiked up like mine is, and then lower the shoulder back down. Take a couple breaths here. And then draw the chin towards the chest, kind of looking down, and let the stretch move to the back of the neck. And then come back to center and release that. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, the arms release. Couple more times like that. Inhale, the arms reach. Exhale, the arms release. One more time like that. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful, nice work. Let's come off our prop. Let's come onto our backs. So you're gonna lie on the ground. Have your prop handy if you wanna elevate your hips for some passive inversion. So we're gonna get on the ground now, and you're gonna draw your knees into your chest to start. So just draw the knees in, take a couple breaths. And placing your hands on the tops of your knees, you're gonna make little circles in one direction. And then switch the direction of those circles. And then come back to center and draw the knees wide and around and in. Wide and around and in. Wide and around. And then switch the direction of those circles in and wide and together. And then draw your right arm out to the side like a T. Scoot both hips to the right as you lower both knees down to the left for a spinal twist. And if you like, you can take your pillow or your prop and place it between your knees. And then coming back to center, drawing the knees back into the chest for a moment. And then place your left arm out to the side like a T. Scoot both hips to the left to start, and then lower both knees to the right. And if you like that prop between your knees, you can place the prop between your knees and take a couple breaths in this shape. One more deep belly breath. And then coming back to center, remove your prop if you used it, and finding happy baby. So grabbing a hold, there's no right or wrong way to do this pose. Either the outside edges of your feet or the inner arches, right? And then pull the knees down towards the outside edges of your shoulders. And if you like to rock from side to side, feel free to go there. If you want to spend a couple breaths with your legs wide out to the side, you can place your hands on the inner groin. You can place them on your shins. You can grab a hold of your feet. Coming back through to happy baby. And then placing the soles of your feet together, right? And at first, drawing the heels up towards the ceiling, and then draw the heels in towards your hips. Let's do that one more time with motion. So lift the heels up towards the ceiling, and then draw the heels in towards the hips. And take a couple breaths in this shape. And then release that and place the soles of your feet parallel to the mat for a little bridge pose. And so on an inhale, we're going to lift our hips and our arms overhead. And on an exhale, we're going to lower everything back down. So a couple times, moving dynamically, inhaling it up and exhaling it down. One more time like that with movement. And this next time, you're gonna come up and stay up and take a couple breaths here. And then lowering the hips down and drawing the knees into the chest. And then rock yourself a couple times forward and back. Forward and back and forward and back. And then rock yourself up to a seated position. And let's come into pigeon pose. So the right shin forward, the left knee back. Now here's where your prop can come in handy. If you have your pillow, your block, you can place it underneath the bottom of the right cheek, right? And then walk yourself on down. Letting the head and the neck go. This is a restorative pose. And crawling yourself up from here and just sweeping the left leg forward and the right leg back and switching sides. Take your time. When you find it, you lengthen the spine, walk the palms forward, let the head and neck go. And crawling yourself up and sweeping the back leg forward and extending both legs out in front of you. Grab a hold of your towel, your strap, your bathrobe. You're going to ground down through the sitting bones and flex the feet and press the tops of the thighs down as you lift up. And then when you exhale, forward fold. And coming up, drawing the right leg in, reaching for your towel, your prop. A big inhale reaches up, and an exhale, down you go. One more deep belly breath. Inhale brings you up. Right leg extends out to meet the left. We switch sides. Left leg draws in. Big inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. One more deep belly breath here. Inhale brings you up. You can release your prop. We're going to go as wide as we possibly can today. Nice front splits. Once again, your props come in handy here. You can choose to simply rest on your elbows, right? You can be up here. So whatever position feels right for you and your body in this moment, find it. And then inhale brings you up. Release your prop. Soles of the feet gonna come together. Inhale, long spine arching up. Exhale, bend the elbows and let the torso and the head and neck release. And then inhaling back up to seated position. So take your props and place them off to the side. Have your pillow handy. And then we're gonna articulate from the hip crease, just kind of rolling all the way down. It feels like one more twist would be so yummy. So you're gonna draw the right knee into the chest and let's circle the right ankle one way. And then circle it the other way. And circle the hip and the knee joint one way. And then circle it the other way. And then draw the right arm out to the side like a T. Scoot both hips to the right. And then draw the knee over to the left for a sweet spinal twist. And then inhale draws you back to center. And then on an exhale, release the leg. Let's switch sides. Left knee's gonna come into the chest. You're gonna circle the left ankle one direction. And then the other way. And then the knee and the hip joint one way. And then the other way. No right or wrong way to do this. And then back to center, left arm out to the side like a T. Scoot both hips to the left. And then lower the leg and find the twist. One more deep belly breath. And rolling back onto your back, knees into the chest, nose to knees to squeeze the internal organs, and then let everything go. Take your pillow if you like and place it underneath your head or underneath your knees, whatever feels right for a little spinal traction. And let's take a few moments in well-deserved Shavasana. So close your eyes, maybe wiggle your body from side to side just to kind of find a release. And then soften and let everything go here. Take a couple moments in Shavasana, corpse pose. And then slowly drawing your awareness back into your body, making small movements with your fingers and your toes. And then reaching your arms overhead for a full body stretch. So reaching from fingertip to tippy toe out of your lower back, reaching, flexing your feet, pressing your thighs and calves down. And then draw your knees into your chest and take a moment in this shape. Don't be in a hurry. And then as you're ready, rock yourself up to a comfortable seated position with your eyes closed, nothing you need to see or do, just coming slowly back into the here and now. And then stack your bones. So line the crown of your head up over your tailbone and your shoulders over your hips, just kind of rocking back and forth until you find the plumb line where there's a little bit of muscular effort to lift the back of the body, the rib cage, and alignment. Just breathe. Follow your breath in. Follow your breath out. Relax your jaw, the palate of your tongue. Relax your shoulders. Relax any gripping sensation you have anywhere in the body. And then bringing our hands together at our hearts and sealing our practice this morning by bowing our heads in deep, deep gratitude. And lifting your head, may there be peace in our hearts, may there be peace in our homes, and may there be peace in the world. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to unmute you so we can all say goodbye.